So then they're fighting over who gets the condom, and they like flip it over like a coin, and whether it's the warnings or the logo.
I saw this coming a mile away.
And then she flips it and it goes right into the sewer. So then he's got her in this dress that barely fucking covers her ass, and he's got her upside down into the sewer grate. And it's like, she's like, don't look. And I'm like, dude, like, there's no way you covered anything wearing that dress. You know what I mean?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Mamalukes podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Luke.
I'm Alysha.
I'm Virginia. And I'm Matt.
And this week we are talking about a couple movies, One Night Only and Drama. But first, it should come very apparent that it is officially the Mamaluke only show. If you don't know, go watch episode 1. That would explain Matt as Mama, and, well, I'm still Luke. But, yes, obviously Virginia and Alysha are both out this week, and we don't have a guest host to occupy us, so...
I feel like this will work.
Yeah, not gonna lie. Wasn't expecting to becoming a ventriloquist on this podcast, but here we are.
To be fair, I had, she's at a function for volunteering for her church, and Alysha's on vacation, right?
Yeah, she's currently at she's having dinner at a fish boil somewhere, I think, in Michigan. She told me earlier that her and her friends are sitting with a bunch of ladies at this fish boil, and one of the older woman's grandparents were Mildred and Raymond, born in the same year. And I told her that Mildred and Raymond sounds like a sitcom. So,
not a very good one either.
Yeah, the sequel to That's So Raymond or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are with our fill-ins. Let the jokes ensue, however they do. On our but first list, we have a couple short things. If you were a fan of the movie The Sandlot, well, then you should go check out the new trailer for Dugout Dads, which basically looks like, the sequel to that. I'm not going to play too much of it on here, but basically it just looks like what all the guys from Sandlot are doing.
It's 4 of them, right? 4 of them are returning.
I think there's a little more than that. I think there's like 6 or 7.
Oh, wow.
I think the main one is the Jet isn't returning.
Okay. I saw it was Hambino Productions.
Right. And yeah, I mean, it's his production, Patrick Rana. And, of course, he cast, what's her name? Topanga from Boy Meets World. I forget her actual name. As his wife in this movie. So
yeah.
Go him.
Yeah, there you go. Every 1990s boy's dream.
Right. So I think that's supposed to be coming out end of next month, August 26th. Yeah, there you go. So streaming on YouTube. And actually, I should say, I think I saw it's not a movie. It's supposed to be a series. Yeah. I would have expected it to be a movie, I guess, but maybe we'll see what they can do as a series.
It's interesting that it's streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've never watched a TV series on just regular YouTube.
There aren't very many, to be honest. And I would imagine it's probably not going to be like a YouTube Premium only type of series or something. Like, it's just going to be ad supported, I would imagine. It's funny you mentioned that, though. The next thing I had on my list was next year, it appears that YouTube Premium was now going to be including Peacock. So if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, in some way, shape, or form, you're going to get access to Peacock. Now, I know that could mean like many different things, like YouTube Premium could just go up in price and now they have Peacock content, or there'll be a watered down version of like a regular Peacock subscription. But in any case, I would say, it kind of brings YouTube into the whole, if you want to call it, mainstream streaming subscription battle between them all, because YouTube Premium obviously doesn't have a lot of mainstream content on its own.
It says it's $15.99 right now for YouTube Premium, and that will include the $10.99 regular commercial version of Peacock.
It will include that.
It says that makes it cheaper than subscribing to both services individually.
Right, but that doesn't mean that's what we'll get once Peacock gets thrown in there somehow. I mean, that'd be great if it does, but I have doubts that it'll just be...
There's some decent stuff on Peacock, like the new movie that horror movie with Obsession or whatever.
Yeah.
That's on there. I mean, they get some decent stuff.
Yeah. I think, out of all the streaming platforms, Peacock probably has the most sports content out of all of them.
Yeah. Well, it's because it's NBC.
Because it's NBC.
Yeah.
So there is that. Netflix, I mean, of course, tries to get some random stuff, some random MLB games, some random NFL games, but...
And it even says as part of the deal, NBC Universal will stream a selection of sporting events on YouTube.
Right. And that's kind of... What does that remind me of? I guess Amazon's Thursday night games, but that's not...
Well, we'll see. We'll have to see exactly how it plays out, whether or not they get the full NBC schedule of games on there, or if they get special events or something like that. Because, I mean, NBC has like some of the F1 races and some tennis matches and stuff like that. So, maybe something like that.
Yep. Any case, I mean, for once in a long time, if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber, you're getting some real value coming besides just, your typical YouTube content and your YouTube music content that are part of that subscription.
Without ads,
hopefully. So
YouTube Premium, isn't that the whole point of YouTube Premium pretty much, is so you don't have to watch the ads?
I'm just cautious what happens with this Peacock stuff.
Yeah.
Because
that's what she said.
Yeah. So anyway, that starts next year at some point in 2027, that's all supposed to get integrated. So I'll be looking forward to that. And then next week, we're supposed to be going to see Spider-Man Brand New Day. That already hit the theaters already, right?
Yeah, it came out Thursday.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Right.
So basically the reason we're talking about it is because before we started the podcast, we were wondering where everybody was on their Marvel content, if everybody was up to date.
I'm not.
Yeah, so that's what sparked the whole thing, is he said that, and I was like, we're going to try and figure out now how far behind he is. And I said we might as well do this on the podcast.
So
Virginia's seen everything. I've pretty much made her watch everything that's current. I don't know that she understands the timeline 100%.
Right.
But
so I've seen Avengers Endgame, and the thing you mentioned before we started too was that apparently had a little bit of retconning involved.
Well, they're going to, yeah. So the Russo brothers have said that there's going to be another version of Endgame released that's going to have unfilmed things that they went back and redid to retcon it to fit with Doomsday. So the whole timeline since Endgame was leading into the Kang Dynasty. So whether or not you watched Loki or the Multiverse of Madness or all these different things, everything was or Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm or whatever it's called.
Right.
All those things were leading into the Kang Dynasty, and that was going to be the Secret Wars and stuff like that. Now we're not doing that. So the guy that was accused of beating up his girlfriend that played Kang. Him being fired from the Marvel Universe caused them to make a bunch of changes in where they're going. And also fans are not happy, other than with Loki, about anything that's came out pretty much after Endgame. Everybody's complained to some portion about it.
Yeah.
So, but it's not going to be much better with Doomsday. Let me just put it that way. So anytime you get into these multiple dimensions, multiple, universes, all those different things are going to be convoluted. They're just going to be. It's a way of saying that you can bring back any character. It's a way of saying that, pretty much anything that's ever happened could be changed.
Right.
It's, just that's what happened in Endgame. I mean, basically they went back in fucking time and changed some stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, that's where comic books go to fix storylines and make sure your favorite characters never die and stuff like that. So that's, that's what we're doing. So, Spider-Man Brand New Day, the end cut scene of Fantastic Four. Did you see Fantastic Four?
The original?
No, the one that just came out.
No.
Oh yeah. You got to watch that.
Okay.
You got to at least catch up on that. Okay. Before we go Tuesday. So that's your homework this weekend.
Okay.
It is on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Let's see. What else would you definitely need to watch?
The other two Spider-Mans.
Oh, you haven't seen?
I know I've seen at least one of them. I can't remember if I've seen both Far From Home and No Way Home.
Okay. So No Way Home is more important than Far From Home. Far From Home actually is nothing but a standalone movie with Mysterio as the villain.
Okay. I probably need to watch that then.
No, that's like the one you don't need to watch.
No, I probably need to watch No Way Home.
Oh, yeah. So No Way Home is the one where they did this is my complaint with Marvel now with all the fan service, where they brought back Peter Parker from two different Spider-Man movies, James Garfield and Tobey Maguire, and they show up in the movie.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, that's just because everybody was clamoring for it. You know what I mean? So, I know a lot of people really like that movie. I didn't love it. It's okay, but there was just too much. There's just too much going on. And I mean, I hated Jamie Foxx's Electro, and that's the reason that the Sony universe of Spider-Man collapsed anyway. And they brought him back and he was very prominent in the movie. I don't know. I could argue that all day long with people and stuff like that. Did you see Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?
Nope.
Okay. Did you watch Loki?
Yes. Yeah.
Both seasons?
Watched all Loki.
Okay. So Multiverse of Madness touches on that.
Okay.
And it also gives kind of the explanation of what's going on after WandaVision. Did you watch WandaVision?
Parts of it.
You did you make it to the end of it?
I don't remember, to be honest. Probably not. Let's just say no.
Okay. Yeah. You're not going to get caught up. You need to get caught up before Doomsday, but you're not going to get caught up by Spider-Man on Tuesday.
No.
There is some good stuff in there, but there's also did you see the Marvels?
No.
Okay. So there's characters that you're just not going to understand who they are or what their point is until you kind of get caught up. So, I mean, this is kind of like the Game of Thrones with Virginia. You've got some hours to put in.
Yeah, but okay. This list that we're already looking at on Reddit.
Okay.
I mean, okay. So No Way Home was movie 84 out of 100 something now. The whole entire Marvel.
Yeah, but
MCU.
I mean, there's stuff you can skip.
I know.
Did you see the new Black Panther movie?
Nope.
Okay. The only thing that you're going to need from that is Namor, is the villain in the movie is the Atlanteans and stuff. That's going to show up.
Okay.
That's coming back. That's definitely going to be in Doomsday. So, other than the introduction of them and kind of their backstory, that movie's pointless. They're already bringing in a new Black Panther. They've already cast him.
Right.
They've already named him, everything like that. It's not going to be Shuri, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
So that one you could kind of skip. Wakanda Forever. So She-Hulk you can skip. Miss Marvel The only thing that she's in the Marvels, and Monica Rambeau and how they're introducing the X-Men and stuff like that is also in that movie.
Okay.
So, Ironheart you can skip.
What about Thor?
Okay, so Thor: Love and Thunder, it's another movie that people really didn't like. I actually kind of enjoyed it, but I could give you a 5-minute rundown of that and tell you where they're at with that. So Love is the girl that he's going to be taking, she's going to show up in it.
Okay.
So basically, like, this isn't spoilers, I guess, but Natalie Portman's character dies in the movie. Like, she becomes the version of the mighty Thor, the female version of Thor.
Okay.
And she gets Mjolnir, the hammer.
Okay. Yeah.
And basically it connects itself back together for her because she's dying from cancer, and it gives her the ability to live a little bit longer. And that's like his whole connection is like she dies in that movie. Mm-hmm. Christian Bale's character, which Gore the Godslayer, he is a waste. But he has a daughter. Okay. So he wanted to protect his daughter. And like, basically the whole thing is that they need to open up this portal to be able to grant one wish. And, it basically they do, they bring back his daughter from the other side, and Thor basically adopts her, and she's Love, but she's got godlike powers too, or, superhuman powers and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So at the end of the movie, they're together. That's where they left with Thor. So they're going to pick up his storyline. However, it ties into, because he has not been mentioned since. However, his storyline ties into Doomsday. That's where they left off with him.
Okay.
So it starts off the movie. He's with Guardians of the Galaxy, which is where Endgame ended. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to go our separate ways. And then it goes to there. And then they go off and do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Did you see that?
Nope.
Okay, that's worth a watch. That's actually really good.
Okay.
But at the end of that, Peter Quill leaves the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, and then they have a whole different group that's together.
Right.
So, yeah. And then Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, that's the Kang story. So I don't know how they're going to fix that. Also, Loki was all about Kang.
Right.
So I don't know what they're going to do with that. I don't know how they're going to fix that, but supposedly the way they're going to do it is they're going to introduce Doom at the end of Endgame somehow in the new retcon version.
Okay.
So, but then, like I said, Fantastic Four leads into a bunch of different storylines of why they're going to be involved in this. So there's a little bit of homework to do, but you can skip some of it. Like Ironheart's standalone. It's, most of the TV shows, the Marvels, you really don't need to watch the Marvels. You just need to know that Monica Rambeau has powers now.
Okay.
Because she's like, basically at the end of the movie, she's with Captain Marvel, and she sacrifices herself, and she ends up in another universe. And in that other universe, she's laying on a table, and Beast is there. And another, I think it's Beast and Storm. I could be wrong, but it's two characters from X-Men are there, and she's in that universe now. And that's how they're introducing the X-Men. And it was actually the Beast from Kelsey Grammer. So, but that was the biggest thing that came from that. Agatha all along has nothing to do with anything. It's good just on its own. It introduces Lady Death, which I really liked. Which if they would have done Thanos the right way, it would have been tied to Lady Death. Captain America Brave New World, you don't really need to see that. He's Captain America now, which you knew anyway. Yeah. So nothing great came from that. The Thunderbolts, the introduction of Sentry is going to be somewhat important. The Thunderbolts are like the new Avengers,
right?
So, and then have you seen that?
Nope.
Wow, you haven't watched a bunch of stuff.
Correct.
Did you just give up after Endgame?
I checked out after Endgame.
I mean, it was, what was it, 28 or 32 movies or something like that led into the end of Endgame?
Yeah.
And everybody's got superhero fatigue. I mean, they do.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It became so much, and things just became more and more of a disappointment. I mean, Endgame was so good.
Yeah.
It was a good way to kind of end it, but it's just still been that money grab. They're just trying to drive. And none of it's been great.
Loki is probably the only thing that I've been able to appreciate since then.
Yeah. And even that, like season 1 was just like, what is going on? Like, what is the purpose of this? And,
Yeah.
What's the name of the group that he works for? The Q something.
Oh,
I keep wanting to say QVC, but that's not what it is. TVA.
TVA.
Yeah, the TVA. Right. So he works basically for the TVA, and then they're going to explain why the TVA is important. And I guess a couple of people from that are going to be tied into Doomsday, not just Loki. So
right.
I don't know. It's a lot. And again, I didn't think it was so crazy when they did Endgame with all the different characters that you had together. Like you could have skipped some movies and just had known who the major 8 were, or the major 12 or whatever it is. Like the people that were in Civil War.
Right.
Now it's like, holy crap. Like you have to know which universe you're talking about. Is it 626? Is it, 999? Is it,
yeah.
Which so, and which universe are we in and everything else. And it gets really difficult to keep up with everything at this point. And Spider-Man started that shit.
Right.
So that Spider-Man movie, like you'll see, they start talking about that. And then, like I said, at least in Quantumania, they were just in the quantum realm.
Right.
They didn't talk about, which universe they were in and different things like that. They were just in the quantum realm. So it's going to get confusing about why these people don't like each other, why why they're in Battle World, because that's what Dr. Doom's thing is Battle World. But see, even as I remember it, I thought it was Kang that ran Battle World. It wasn't Doom, but I guess that's just where they're going with it. So
retconned.
Yeah. And I could be wrong, but I seem to remember, and the way I remember it in the comics and the cartoons and stuff was that Kang ran Battle World.
I got some homework, but yeah, I mean,
there's a lot. And we could sit here and talk about Marvel forever.
Yeah. But yeah,
we're not going to entertain anybody probably.
I am a victim of the superhero movie fatigue for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, and DC just makes such bad movies.
Yeah.
Supergirl, the new Superman.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was enjoyable. Aquaman movies are terrible.
Oh, what was the one that Virginia talked about on the podcast, the show? Was it
Wonder Man?
Wonder Man. And then was it a week or 2 or 3 after that they did confirm season 2?
And now they've canceled it.
Now it's canceled. So I think that kind of falls in line with your guys' review of it.
They're supposed to bring back Moon Knight too.
They were supposed to?
No, Moon Knight's supposed to appear in one of the next movies. That's the rumor. But yeah, so Spider-Man Brand New Day is our tie-in to the TV series to the movies. So that's your first real, actually something off of the TV series will show up on the big screen, which is where we're going to have, I take that back because Captain America Brave New World was off of the Falcon and Winter Soldier TV series.
Right.
Then they showed up in Brave New World. So this is the second thing, but they're bringing the Punisher in to Spider-Man.
Okay.
And then eventually with bringing the Punisher in, you'll be able to bring Daredevil in.
Right.
So anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of Marvel shit, but yeah. So semi excited to see Spider-Man Brave New Day.
Yeah. I am somehow.
I do like the storyline.
Slightly less excited now that I know that I probably won't understand it 100%.
Well, but the good thing about this, you got to at least watch Far From Home. If you do anything before, watch Far From Home.
Or No Way Home.
No Way Home. The last one, the fan service one.
Right.
Watch that one. If you haven't seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, that's going to tie in slightly to that movie, but you can pretty much get past it.
Okay.
So watch that. Watch the Spider-Man, the last Spider-Man movie. Watch Fantastic Four before you go see Doomsday. I don't really know that you're going to need to see it before this movie, but you'll need to see it before Doomsday.
When do we expect Doomsday to come
December.
out? December. Okay.
Yeah, it comes out the same day as Dune.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's December 18th or something like that. It's the same day as Dune though. And Dune gets IMAX and they're doing Infinity Vision in the XD theater for the Doomsday.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's going to be a crazy week at the movie theater there, I think. Yeah. So I finally saw a trailer for Dune 3. And I think it looks great, but you have to be a fan of those movies. And like I said, I know people that haven't even seen the first one.
Me.
Really? I really like Dune. I might be alone in that. It's a different style of filming. It's the guy that I do believe it's the guy that did like The Fifth Element.
Right.
Is the guy that, directs them. So there's a certain style to it that I enjoy. But yeah, that we can get way digress on that. But yeah, so they're coming out at the same time in December.
Okay. Does Virginia have a fun fact?
Virginia has a fun fact.
Oh, okay.
So of all the movies that we go see, most of them are A24 Studios. And do you know what A24 Studios was named after?
I don't know.
The Italian A24 motorway.
Why was it named after that?
Because that's what the three people that founded the company named it after.
Oh, okay.
Fun fact.
All right, so let's roll right into the movie we did see. One Night Only, which comes out, I think, next week.
Yeah, I think it's late.
Next Friday.
Yeah.
This was a mystery movie that we saw, featuring Monica Barbaro and Callum Turner.
So they did promote this movie for a long time.
Yes, they did.
I mean, I've seen trailers for this movie for like almost a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So
Monica Barbaro, I ended up figuring out.
She's on the Netflix Paris TV show, right?
Well, what I remembered was she was Arnold's daughter in Fubar.
Oh, that's what it is. I knew she was on something Netflix. I thought maybe it was that Emily in Paris show. But yeah, okay.
Maybe she was also in Crime 101. I mean, you saw that. She might have been, or maybe that was that Virginia that saw that?
No, we watched that, but oh, okay. Now I know what part she played in it. It just took me a second to even remember that movie. It was so bad.
Well,
okay. Yeah. Right. I remember the part she played in that though.
She was in Top Gun Maverick.
So basically in that movie, he's like socially inept and he's like trying to find a girlfriend and stuff like that. And that's the role she plays in the movie, is his love interest.
Right.
But, yeah. So it's not like anything but like a side character, but Callum Turner's been in some stuff.
Yeah, I recognize him, but I can't. Oh, okay. Fantastic Beasts. Maybe I recognize him from that.
I don't know. I don't know what part he played in that.
Maybe not.
I don't remember him in that. He was in Eternity. That's what I remember him from. He was one of the husbands for the Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I did see a little bit of that, I think.
Yeah. He was one of her husbands. He was the super attractive. So everybody, like every time this guy's in a movie, everybody talks about how good looking he is. And I just don't get it. Like, I totally admit when I think a guy's like super attractive, but this guy isn't even symmetric. Like, so I don't know. And he's got like, she makes fun of his ears in the movie and it's totally like, yeah, he does. He's got cardboard ears and I do too. So I'm not, like saying anything, but I'm just saying people aren't saying how hot I am. So it's, just, maybe a hater moment, but whatever. I mean, he's got like the big tall guy build, whatever, but I don't know. I don't think he's.
It's the British attraction thing. I don't know.
I don't either. But anyway, so this movie is basically The Purge, but for corny romantic moviegoers. So the U.S. passes a law that says that you're not allowed to have sex if you're not married, and basically one night a year. Everybody's allowed to have all the sex that they want.
Right.
One night a year. But they have to wear a condom, and their little tattoos and sensors in their wrists can tell whether or not they're wearing a condom or not.
Right. So super believable right off the bat.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not great of a premise all by itself. Like one night a year, the government turns off your little sensor that reports back through radio waves, whether or not you're horny.
Right. It turns green.
It turns green, which means go. You're allowed to have sex. So this is year 3 of this. So we don't even get into like the buildup of it or the politics or anything like that. We're already in year 3 and everybody's accustomed to this premise. So it starts off with she's getting ready to go out. Right. And she and a friend are going out and they're going to a specific bar and they're going to take it slow and meet the love of their life. And this is all in the trailer, actually. So immediately her friend meets a guy in the line to the bathroom and ditches her, and she's on her own for the entire night. So it's how she's going through the evening, and Callum Tanner's character, basically his girlfriend who he was going to propose to tells him that she's going to sleep with somebody else that night. And so he's on his own and he decides that, well, she's just daring me to go out and have sex with somebody and she doesn't think I can do it. I'm going to go prove her wrong.
His girlfriend is Maya Hawke, who you probably know from Stranger Things.
Really? She looked terrible in that movie. I did not even recognize her.
Really? Oh, I knew that was her right away. I was like, oh, that's
wow.
What's her name?
I think she looked terrible. Like, I did not even know that was her until you just said that.
Oh. Well, there you go.
I mean, she's got longer blonde hair in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, wow. She's super frail in this movie too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they put her in like a white shirt to immediately begin with, and she's as white as the shirt, and she's got blonde hair, and she is just super, super skinny. And I was like, who is this girl? Like, I had no idea that's who it was. That's how bad she looked in the movie, I think. Like, but okay, I didn't pick up on it at all. Like, I'm usually pretty good at that. I'm a little stunned.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So anyway, his girlfriend decides she's going to sleep with some guy that lives in their apartment building instead of going with him. And like, he's got this whole restaurant thing planned out, and he's got a block of ice that's got a ring in the inside of it, and it's going to get put in her drink, which that was a big ass block of ice. Like they would have to sit there and let that thing melt for a long time to be able to propose. Whatever. So she even tells him like he can't come back to the apartment because she's going to be banging this dude in their apartment, and she doesn't want him in the same building because it would be weird. So. And he's just like the whole movie, like contemplating, like, oh yeah, she, I'm going to get her back. I'm going to prove her wrong, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, dude, you should have like been like, that's the end of that like, immediately. But so whatever. Now these two bump into each other on the street immediately as the night starts. So it's like 7:00 is when the timer starts, and you get like, what was it? Like 18 hours or something like that?
12 hours or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. You get 12 hours to do whatever. But they bump into each other on the street, and they have an awkward exchange. And then like he ate all the food for both of them at the restaurant. So he like throws up like right there.
I think he had a few shots too.
Yeah. I mean, probably, but he said it was some kind of sushi that he ate.
Well,
he ate 2 pieces of something.
That's what he threw up for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, she's grossed out. She walks away and she leaves, and they are in New York City. Okay. This isn't downtown fucking Cleveland. This isn't like, and I mean, they even mentioned the different boroughs that they go to. They're like in Brooklyn and Upper Manhattan. Right. And like, they're down by a wharf at one point and stuff like that. These people bump into each other 6 fucking times in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so unbelievable. It's not even funny.
Yep.
There's complete scenes where they're the only people outside in New York City.
Yep.
And I'm just like, this is so stupid. Like, she's in some super high-end ritzy club, and he's in a dive bar, and they're a block away from each other somehow and end up bumping into each other again. And this is after they both take Uber rides and shit and go away.
Yeah, he rides a bike across some bridge to meet up that one girl like that's in these dark bushes and trees, and then he gets tied up.
Yeah, it's what was that, Brooklyn Park or something like that? I think they called it. Yeah. or yeah. So I mean, it's just,
they're just going all over the place.
Yeah, and then they both end up in the same hospital somehow, even though like he's in a different borough of New York than she is. And it's like, okay, well, there's only one hospital in New York now.
Right. They both end up at the same police station.
Yeah.
Couple of other different stupid things.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. Like the fact that they just kept bumping into each other and stuff like that. And I mean, they make it all across New York 5 or 6 times in one evening, you know, and then end up in the same spot with time to spare.
Right.
You know, and then like he owns a pizza shop. So like when she's like, I made a real connection with somebody in the one scene where she meets somebody and she's like, she's a singer and she sings these like popular pop songs, but they're actually ads for like, what is it, like hemorrhoid cream or something, or psoriasis cream or something? Yeah, any drug company she works for. So everybody's like, I recognize your voice and never heard anything you've done. And she's like, no. But it's all really because she does these jingles for like medications and stuff like that are being played everywhere. So it was just an excuse to have her sing.
Probably.
You know what I mean? It's like, so it was unnecessary that was what it was put in there multiple different times. So anyway, so she meets this guy at a bar and he plays the piano with her and she gets a real connection with him. And then they drive on a motorcycle to go find a condom. And then he's in that same convenience store magically. And they're fighting over the one condom that's in this drugstore. And then these other couple come in and they want that one condom too, because there's no condoms anywhere in all of New York. There's no more condoms. So even after 3 years, these drugstores are not stocked up and ready for this giant event of one night only. And everybody's like, yeah, we just don't have any condoms. And it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah. It's been going on 2 hours into the night of the one night a year that people are not allowed to have sex in New York City and nobody's got condoms. Like there'd be black market people all over the street with these things. Yeah. But no, there's one condom in all of New York City available. And these two just happen to find it together. And it's in this big fucking statue with a glass box. And there's one condom in there. And the lady's just like $200. And then neither one of these people who are successful people that live in their own apartments in New York City have $200. Right. That's like, okay. Like he's like, oh, I did payroll, even though I own my own pizza shop in New York City. I don't have $200 to my name. Well, damn, dude, you're doing something fucking wrong, or you're paying your people too much, or there's something really off. Yeah. And then she's like this jingle musician and stuff like that. And she has no money either. Or her card just doesn't work or some shit. Yeah. I don't know, whatever it was. But then like she hooks this statue to a motorcycle with the guy that she's about to bang, and he drives off and the statue gets dragged down the street and it does nothing. So like the two of them go running down the street with this statue, and then he just kicks the glass box and it breaks. Yeah. So then they're fighting over who gets the condom, and they're like, flip it over like a coin, and whichever, whether it's the warnings or the logo.
I saw this coming a mile away.
And then she flips it and it goes right into the sewer. So then he's got her in this dress that barely fucking covers her ass, and he's got her upside down into the sewer grate. And it's like, she's like, don't look. And I'm like, dude, like there's no way you covered anything wearing that dress. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, as corny as that was, it was like, there was parts of it. Like Alysha was laughing. Alysha was laughing through like half the movie. So there's a demographic for it. It just wasn't me. I don't know if it was you.
Yeah, I mean, there were some funny moments, but yeah, I mean, it was funny only because it was so ridiculous with what some of the things were. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, a little over the top and a little too convenient for
very, very everything about the whole movie was just, I mean, it was a Lifetime movie. That's what this was.
Yeah. It's a romantic comedy, feel good movie.
Yeah. I just, there's things I can't get past when they do stuff like this. You know what I mean? It is too fucking convenient. The whole being in downtown New York and bumping into the same person 5 times because it's destiny. You know, it's so stupid. So then the whole will they, won't they moment at the end when they meet up at this one spot after they separate and then they meet back up and then they decide to separate and they're like, I made the wrong choice, but I know where to go. I know where they'll be. So they end up going completely away from each other and somehow magically make it to the same spot. They don't. Let's just say it that way. They don't. They're like, we're going to save this for next year. And then they dance to a psoriasis commercial that's being filmed because since everybody's banging, there's nobody on the streets. So they're filming all over New York City and they're filming a psoriasis commercial and they're just up on top of this lighthouse, like dancing in the background. Then it flashes to a year later. And as soon as the timer goes off, they have sex. It was so fucking pointless.
Yeah.
That whole thing about waiting and everything, it meant nothing because it just showed them together. And then they're like, okay, well, they're still together a year later. Is that the whole thing behind it? Yeah, I don't know. It's just not.
They found true love.
What is the name of this movie?
One Night Only.
One Night Only. I was looking for the Rotten Tomatoes thing.
Oh, I guess I didn't pull that up.
Since it's not out, there is no score.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna have to put this in the but first section, following up in a couple of weeks.
You're right.
Yeah. So go see it. Waste your money. I'm glad that it was $5 because it was a mystery movie, so it was only $5, and I'm glad I didn't spend a small fortune at the movie theater to go see this. I would not have watched this.
I mean,
if it wouldn't have been,
you saw the trailer,
right? If you saw the trailer, you saw the movie. I'm just telling you.
Well, my point is, you saw the trailer. Based on the trailer, would you go see it?
No, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have went and seen this.
Right.
But I thought it was funny because it's The Purge, but fucking.
Pretty much.
I was like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. You know what? And I was sitting there thinking, I'm like, this should be the prequel to The Purge. For all the people that didn't get laid and they just decide to murder people instead.
That'd be an interesting time.
Right. It was pretty. There was a couple of things I actually thought were funny about it. Was like this one guy had time slots booked on his phone and he walks up to the main girl and he's like, I got a 1:30 if you're interested. And I was like, wow.
He's got this figured out.
Yeah. Yeah. What would you give it? I mean, it is what it is. It fits its genre. I'll give it that.
If you know what you're getting into and like that's your thing, 7. For the average movie, probably just a 6.
See, I'm gonna go lower just because the only reason I would give it a 5 is just because it's a semi-original idea.
Sure.
It makes no fucking sense. It's stupid.
Super convenient.
But at least it's somewhat of an original idea of why they're running around and what they're doing and stuff like that.
Right.
These two have no chemistry. Like I was actually joking with Alysha during the movie. I'm like,
no.
I'm like, when they came out, so like when you go to see a mystery movie, that the main actors of the movies come out and they do like a cut scene before the movie starts and they're like, I'm blah 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 and I'm blah 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 and this is our movie and we hope it comes out on this date. We hope you enjoy it. This special screening. And I looked at Alysha and I was like, God, I hope they have more chemistry during the movie than they just did right there. And she was like, the way they dressed her in that, she was wearing like a winter coat and shorts.
Yeah.
And like Alysha said that. I don't have the puppet. So she
said all that.
Yeah, she said all that. So when we were like halfway through the movie, she leans over and she goes, no, they don't. So it was kind of funny that in that regard. It's like he's really struggling to speak in an American accent too.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
He's British. I don't know how else to say it. Like, nobody thinks you're American. So if that was an effort that he tried to put forward, I'm sorry.
Why do they always have to fake that? Like people like the British accent. I don't understand why they have to fake the American accent thing. Just so it shows he's from New York or.
I guess it depends on the movie. I mean, Tom Holland.
Yeah, but Tom Holland's got like that Cockney fucking British accent. Like he's tough to understand at times.
He can, yeah.
So,
but I'm saying his American accent is like,
it's pretty good.
It's believable.
Yeah. I mean, but like, what's the girl from Austin Powers? The first one? Elizabeth Hurley. Like nobody would want Elizabeth Hurley to try and fake an American accent. Like, you know, I'm just saying like there's people that speak in an English accent. Like, you know, like, even the girl from, that plays, Captain Carter in, Captain America.
That's Haley Atwell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even her, like nobody would want her to fake her accent, you know? Well, she's supposed to be British and, you know, Captain America, but still,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nobody's asking. I don't know. Like the only really British woman I can think of right off the top of my head that does the American accent is the chick from Hide and Seek. The blonde girl. She's in all the horror movies. Ready or Not. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Same thing.
Samara?
Yeah, Samara Weaving. She's actually very British.
Okay.
But she hides it very well. And
she's Australian.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's still got an accent and she hides it. Same thing with Margot Robbie.
I can only imagine they're doing it just because they're trying to portray a guy that lives in New York.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know.
That's all I got.
Probably pointless to even worry too much about that. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So this movie is for women that like Lifetime movies. A24 has some movies that just come out like this, like that one with Elizabeth Olsen that we were just talking about, that Callum Tanner is in. Eternity. That's another one that's just, it's got some silly moments to it and stuff like that. But it's basically just a Lifetime movie. If it was based in Christmas, it definitely would be on the Lifetime channel. So,
yep.
All right. We'll take our first break here, come back and talk about some sports ball and another rom-com type movie that went and seen. So,
all right. We'll be right back. Support for today's show comes from Prime Video. Looking for something great to watch tonight? Check out Prime Video from Amazon. With a huge library of hit movies, binge-worthy TV shows, and award-winning originals, there's always something new to dive into. From action-packed blockbusters to exclusive series you won't find anywhere else, Prime Video lets you stream at home or on the go. Plus, with downloads available, you can watch your favorites even without Wi-Fi. Start streaming today and see what everybody's talking about with Prime Video. See the link in the description or just head to mamalukes.net/Prime Video. That's mamalukes.net/Prime Video. Support for Mamalukes is brought to you by Aspire Drinks. Looking for an energy drink that doesn't give you jitters and that inevitable crash? Aspire is redefining energy drinks with a better, healthier way to power your day. Unlike most energy drinks that are loaded with excessive caffeine and sugar, Aspire delivers a gentle, balanced boost with 80 milligrams of natural caffeine, half the caffeine of most leading energy drinks. Packed with essential vitamins and enhanced with biotin and ginger, the benefits are a no-brainer. They're enjoyable for any moment, at work, the gym, or on the go. Order now with free U.S. shipping. Find them at aspiredrinks.com and use our promo code Mamalukes to get 20% off anything on your order. That's aspiredrinks.com and promo code Mamalukes to get 20% off your order. Welcome back. It's time for Sportsball.
around here, we like to start with our Cleveland sports. So the Guardians got swept by Tampa Bay since the last time we talked. But they took 2 out of 3 to win the Ohio Cup. And if you don't know what the Ohio Cup is, that's where they play the Reds, who are also in Ohio. Game 1 of that series featured an overturned hit by a pitch. But I always say his name wrong. Is Bazana?
Not Bazana.
That's who it was, wasn't it?
No, it was Kyle.
Manzardo. Okay. Well, anyway, Manzardo was up to bat, and he thought he got hit on the hand, and he took off to first base, and then the review brought him back and said he had a hit again,
right?
And so it was an overturned review, and he came back and he hit a grand slam.
Yeah,
and he killed it. So there's a good video out there of that with Steve Berg, your buddy.
Yeah.
Was it J-Berg?
J-Bergs.
Yeah,
Jacob Bergs.
Okay.
Yeah.
They take on the Diamondbacks this weekend, which they're playing right now. They're currently up 1-0. There's your live update in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we have tickets. Super excited about that. I always like going to the Guardians games. Yeah, so their offense has been hit or miss. So basically, in Cincinnati is the best way.
Literally,
Cincinnati is the best description of that. They scored 6 runs the first game, which 4 runs I think in the first inning, which or
grand slam
off the grand slam, and then they scored 0 runs the next day and lost 2-0, and then they turned around and hit 6 runs in game 3. Right. So super inconsistent. That always has something to do with the pitching. Don't get me wrong, but still. Yeah. On the upside, Stephen Kwan seems to be escaped the first half slump. And we've talked about this prior to this. It's part of it's moving him in the order. That's helped him, I think. But now he's batting .391 with 18 hits, 3 RBIs, 6 runs scored in 12 games since the All-Star break. So we also talked about this too. The Guardians have a nice habit of getting hot in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. So far that has not been the case.
Yeah.
But there's still time. So as we get into September and early October, it'd be nice if they could go on a run. So also in Cleveland sports, there's a little tidbit for Alysha. I'm sure she would like to tell us about this.
Yeah. So during the Reds series, the Ohio Cup, you may have noticed the Buck Moon, which is the traditional name for the full moon in July, which peaked on Wednesday, July 29th. It gets its name because of male deer bucks. But before I get into any more of a description, we should just refer to Tom Hamilton, who talked about this during the game, as provided by said Jay Bergs, as we mentioned earlier, who basically does a reenactment of that whole conversation. Take a listen.
Called a buck moon, a full moon in July. It gets its name because the male deer grows its new antlers covered in velvet during this midsummer period. Now, that's also where we get red velvet cake from. It's at its peak during a buck moon.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it sure is. Rosie is going to spend the night over in Covington, Kentucky, because he'll be closer to the buck moon, and told us between innings he really is hoping to catch himself a male deer and personally watch those antlers grow with red velvet on them.
Did you not want in on that action? You could join me if you want.
You know what, Rosie? I grew up on a dairy farm.
That was enough.
Saw a lot of strange things I don't need to see anymore.
So now you know. That's what a buck moon is.
He seemed super enthusiastic about that.
And that's just classic Tom Hamilton. Anyway.
So tried to find something on the Cavs to give you some new news. James Harden has not signed his player's contract yet, which is $47 million that's due to him. And basically it's because it's rumored that he may take a team-friendly contract to be able to make another big signing. If you want to call Peyton Watson from the Nuggets the big signing. I don't know what the draw is. Like, personally, I don't know much about Peyton Watson. I'm not a huge Nuggets fan, but he only, like, looking at his stats, he averages 14 points a game. Maybe he's a defensive guy, but he's only 6'8", so he's a forward.
The only things that I really saw was that he might be like a trading target for Jalen Tyson on the Cavs. But I don't know. I mean, after this past season, like it seemed like Jalen showed like a huge improvement over the first season. They were able to utilize him more when they needed him to, or when they needed to get some time out of him.
I thought he did pretty good coming off the bench.
So I don't know why the Cavs would entertain that if the Nuggets wanted to try and get him. I don't know.
Some of this stuff just never comes to fruition, and this is just fucking people talking too. So, who knows if like this even means anything at all
in general.
but Harden taking a team-friendly contract's nice if he does, if that's actually true. Yeah. Because that would cut his pay in half, because the rumors is that Peyton Watson's looking for about $25 million a year.
Right.
So he wants like a 5-year, $125 million contract. So, and the Nuggets offered him a 5-year, $70 million contract, so he hasn't signed it yet. In the Browns extended Denzel Ward, which is smart.
Yeah.
Oddly smart by the Browns.
And I think this actually has some implications for the Patriots, because I think they have a corner or somebody on their defense that has yet to sign a contract.
He signed it, and it is now the largest New England Patriots contract ever.
Who is that?
I can't remember his name, but he is a corner.
Christian Gonzalez?
I don't know. It may have been. Oh, no, it is. That's him. The Patriots made him the highest paid corner in the NFL. I thought he signed it. I thought Robert Kraft said that he signed it. They were all promoting. They were all super happy with. Maybe he hasn't signed it yet.
Still not close. Okay.
Well, that's crazy that they're not close, and I don't know. But they gave him a ton of money, and I guess I don't know why he wouldn't have signed it. Maybe because it's only 2 years. Maybe he's looking for something more long term. I don't know, but
who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. These players are something else. I will. Yeah. If I had any kind of that athletic ability, I would definitely go play for $25 million a year.
Right.
But I mean, especially if I was the highest paid person at my position. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, and especially, like coming from the Patriots, who traditionally do not pay a lot of money for players. You always have to take team-friendly contracts to stay on the Patriots. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's when they were winning 7 championships too.
Right. Right.
And the NFL also, sticking with the NFL, CBS places NFL broadcaster Tony Romo on leave after he was arrested for intoxication. And as my comment to Luke was, oh my gosh, Tony Romo is an alcoholic? No way. Like third quarter of the broadcast, the guy's stumbling over his words worse than me or Luke. And sounds worse than freaking Bernie Kosar. So not surprised there that came about. Surprised it took this long. Right. Really.
Must have been using Uber a lot.
Yeah. The Niners re-signed Debo to a 1-year contract. At least that's what I heard today. So we'll see how that pans out. Now that comes after the injury news for Ricky Pearsall. So supposedly he's got swelling in his PCL that he had surgically repaired last year, and they say it's not a good sign, which the guy has never made it 5 games in a season yet in the 2 years that he's played. I mean, getting shot didn't help him, So, feel bad for him there, but we'll see. I mean, I always liked Debo. Hopefully he lost a little bit of weight and he's in better shape this year. He definitely lost a step, but we'll see. I mean, we've also got Christian Kirk and Mike Evans, who are also beyond their prime. So,
right.
We'll see. At least we got some wide receivers, you can name the name of, instead of like last year where you just had the freaking third and fourth stringers off of every team in the NFL. So I don't know. We'll see how that pans out. But there's no real big news in the NBA, NFL, or NHL, or soccer for us to go over this week. So Sportsball is going to cut a little short other than our Guardians updates. So,
well, other than just the trade deadline is approaching, but that's not until Monday. So we'll probably see a bunch of moves to talk about maybe on the next podcast episode. I don't know what the Guardians are trying to do in terms of the trade deadline.
Yeah, there's no rumors that I've seen.
I've seen a couple, again, people just talking. Random stuff like, oh, the Guardians are going to go back and try and get, what's his name, Lane Thomas again. I'm like, I kind of hope not. He was kind of injury prone when we did have him already. Other random stuff like trying to get certain random pitchers. I don't know. Like I said, we'll see what happens when the trade deadline comes and goes and see what major moves end up happening around then.
So their last big move really was going out and getting that catcher from San Francisco, Patrick Bailey.
Right. That was the beginning of May. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, he's splitting time with Hodges, isn't he?
Hedgie?
Hedges,
yeah.
I haven't seen anything great out of him.
Yeah. I mean,
he was supposed to be this defensive prowess, this big signing that was going to, make the difference. Just.
Well, and it's weird because, Hedges has had a decent year when it comes to hitting. Like, he always kind of hit around 210, 220, 230, maybe.
Yeah.
And right now, I think he's like 280 something batting average, which is.
I mean, Bailey's batting a 192.
Right. So, yeah, I don't know.
There's an article that says Patrick Bailey's work behind the scenes is fueling the Guardians' bullpen success.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know, but that was supposed to be the big splashy move that they made because they paid a lot of money to get him for the Guardians.
Right.
And it hasn't been anything crazy. So his last game was the 6-1 win on the 29th over the Reds.
Right.
And he had 3 at-bats, 0 hits, 0 home runs. So,
well, he did have, I think he had a home run the last game before that.
He's hit 5 this year.
But that was the game that nobody else hit, so it didn't matter. So, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see if he heats up in the second half along with the rest of the team.
Wouldn't be surprised if he is a player that they look at as a trade option.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
You know what I mean? Because it didn't pan out to be anything great. So I don't know if he's trade bait, if anybody actually wants him, or I don't know. We're just spitting shit out of our mouths like ESPN does at this point. So,
and that is Sportsball. Just really got a hold of the cable there. Sportsball.
Okay, so the other thing that we have is I watched a movie. It's called Drama. So this is another movie that I saw previews for in the theater multiple times, and a lot of it was during the secret movies and stuff like that because it's by the studio A24, and they do a lot of the secret screenings and stuff. So they show their own trailers and stuff when you go to see it. It's just like when you go see a horror movie, you get all the Blumhouse trailers and stuff like that. They stick to the genres a little bit. So anyway, this movie stars Robert Pattinson and Zendaya. And you would think with the cast generally that it would be of a much higher quality. Okay. The premise of this movie is basically that Robert Pattinson and Zendaya are getting married, and they have another friend or another couple that they're like best friends with, that they supposedly are like intertwined. They do everything together. Like the other couple is both the best man and the maid of honor in their wedding. Okay. So they're sitting there one night when they're all out and they're doing like a wine tasting thing for the wedding. And they're like, what's the worst thing you've ever done? And then they're like, I'll tell you if you tell me, and all this stuff. So the one guy goes first, and basically he, I can't remember exactly even what he did. It was so stupid. But he did something to a dog, and everybody was like, oh, okay, you know, that's pretty bad or whatever. And then
did he kick a dog?
I actually, like I said, I can't even remember what he did because it was so bad. Like it was so stupid. And then the one girl is like the maid of honor's character. She locked a handicapped kid in a abandoned trailer in a closet and left him there, and then lied about him her knowing where he was at. And like, there was like a whole search party that went out to try and find this kid and stuff like that. And she lied about it the entire time. And then they did eventually find a kid. He didn't die. But so I thought that was pretty horrible. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, okay, that's pretty bad. Then Robert Pattinson goes and like, he has something stupid too. It's like, I don't even remember what his name.
I found here. Said he admitted to using his ex-girlfriend as a human shield during a dog attack.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah. So basically, yeah.
That's not good.
No, but I mean, like, supposedly, like, there was she kept kicking the dog and aggravated it. And then, like, he was scared, so he put her in front of him. He actually, like, pulled her in front, so the dog was going after her. So, yeah, not very chivalrous. So,
no.
Yeah. But anyway, so then Robert Pattinson cyberbullied a kid. Like he that's all he says. He doesn't get into any like great detail about it. He just said he was really mean about it.
Okay.
So then Zendaya's character says that she planned a school shooting and that she was actually going to go through with it. And then she doesn't actually get the chance to say why she didn't go through with it, because the girl across from her is freaking out so bad because her cousin was paralyzed in a school shooting. And she's just like screaming at her that she's this horrible person and all this other stuff. And I'm sitting there going, this is the basis of this movie? That when she was 15 years old, she didn't have any friends. She was the ugly kid. She didn't fit in, and she was probably bullied, and she planned a school shooting. So she was alone all the time in her house, and they show it. Like as a kid, her dad was never around. He was working all the time and stuff like that. And he had a rifle, and she played with this rifle like it was a toy. And eventually she came up with the idea that she was going to do a school shooting. And then by some random occurrences that happen, and this is all through really shitty flashbacks. So like this whole movie is hard to even take like what the current timeline is versus what's a flashback versus what's going on versus what people are seeing in their head that's not even real. Because then they'll just flash and all of a sudden something else will happen and the person imagined it all. And multiple people do this.
Right.
So it's really hard to even figure out, like, the main movie is probably like 15 minutes of this movie. Everything else is flashbacks of different stuff and memories of things and stuff like that. So it's really like choppy, like when they decide to do a cutscene, what the cutscene is. And then like, when they show her, okay, let me start over. When she says that she did this and the friend is so upset and all that stuff. Hi, Coleman. Basically, everybody's like losing their mind and she's like apologizing to everybody and stuff like that. And Robert Pattinson is being like a little bitch about the whole thing. Like, he's just like, we'll talk about it tomorrow. You're just saying this because you're drunk and all this other stuff and trying to blow it off. And then she's like, no, I really did this. She was like, I didn't actually do anything, but she was like, I planned it. And then it starts going and he's like, the next day when she's supposed to be like sober or whatever, he's like, did that really happen? She's like, yeah. And he's like, well, why didn't you do it? And then they flash to some other scene. Then they flash back to the present. And like, they're going through this whole process of their wedding where they meet a photographer and he won't even smile because he's so distraught over that he doesn't know who Zendaya is and that she lied to him all this time. And she's like deaf in one ear because she fired the rifle too close to her ear and it actually blew out her eardrum and she was like bleeding from her ear.
Jeez.
And I don't know how she even hid that because you know what I mean? Like you have to go, you just hide the fact that you're deaf from your parents from now on. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but, and that's like something that, probably was super fucking painful and she had to have like some kind of surgery on, I would imagine. Yeah. Anyway, so like her dad never knows anything about like this. So basically when she's going to go to the school and do this like mass shooting, somebody is at a mall in her local town and shoots 3 local people. And she's like, well, it wasn't a mass shooting because it wasn't 4. And like because they were talking about it. And that's one of the facts she throws out there. So anyway, and this is after like multiple cutscenes. They're showing them like walking around, and then now he's picturing her as this ugly kid, this 15-year-old girl with glasses, and she's not ugly. You know what I mean? But it's supposed to be that's, you know, what it was meant to be, that she was an ugly kid. And then like, she's always alone. She's always walking around with this rifle, and she's like eating her cereal, and the rifle's right there. And she's like doing all this stuff, and the rifle's right there. And then they like show her like practicing shooting this thing, but she doesn't, because the one time she shot it, she blew out her eardrum. So she's imagining herself being 15, imagining herself shooting a rifle. It's like, okay. And then like when Robert Pattinson's walking around with her, they'll cut and like, it'll be the little girl walking around with her, because now he sees her as this psycho 15-year-old.
Right.
So that's what they're doing. And like, he's super upset about it. Like he doesn't see her as herself anymore. He sees her as this school shooter.
Right.
And I'm just like, but okay, whatever. Like, who at some point that was bullied as a kid in America didn't have that run through their mind at some point that they were going to take action because all these people picked on them and stuff like that, because that's it's so common in the, you know, in the country. So, but they blow this thing out of proportion. Like, she's the devil because when she was 15 years old, she planned the school shooting, even though she didn't do anything. And she actually becomes an activist against it. Like, she actually becomes an activist as she doesn't do the shooting because of the one that happened at the mall. So everybody's like so remorseful and sad about one of the kids from the school that actually got killed and stuff like that. And then she, like, a boy's like, hey, you know, you seem like you really care about this. And she was like, okay. And he's like, you know, now you're going to be an activist. Now you're going to be our lead spokesperson, and you're going to be all vocal. And so against gun violence, and she throws the gun in the water and all this other stuff, which are all really good things. But nobody sees that now. Now she's just this high school mass shooter or whatever. You know, it's like, it's so fucking stupid. The whole premise of why he doesn't believe that he knows her anymore or any of this other stuff, you know what I mean? It's just like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, really, you guys are so freaking close-minded liberals that you're just like, you know, there's no forgiveness for this because you thought about it. That's the whole premise of this fucking movie. So he's so upset about it, and he talks to this girl in his office, and he keeps asking her questions like, what would you do if this was your boyfriend? What would you do if your boyfriend told you that he planned a school shooting? She's like, I guess I'd call the cops. And he's like, no, he did it when he was 15. And she was like, yeah, but I guess that makes him crazy or something, right? So I guess I'd call the cops. And he's like, no. And he like slams his fist down and knocks his shit off the table. And like, he's like, what if he said that he had changed and things were different now? And she's like, well, wasn't that what any psychopath would tell you? And he throws a fit and he storms out of the office, and he's like, Robert Pattinson is such an interesting guy. He's crying, the most weird little sobbing cry. And she comes in to like comfort him, and he like goes after her sexually, just like grabs her and starts making out with her. This random girl from his office that this is the first time they showed her the entire movie. And then like she starts kissing him back, and he just like rips her blouse open, and like she bends over and pulls her dress up, and he's like, oh, what the fuck am I doing? And just like leaves her there standing like that. And he's like, don't tell anybody. Okay. It was such a weird, awkward scene, but he's just like falling out, dude. He's like losing his mind. And then like, he's ruining like everything about the wedding and stuff like that, you know, and at some point they should have been like, we just should not do this, but they didn't. They kept going. It gets to the wedding, and they're acting like this at their own wedding. And then like, he starts basically just crashing out, and like the girl from his office is talking to the maid of honor about the school shooting thing in the hallway, and Zendaya hears him. She's like, I'm going to confront him about this. Who said something to him? You know, like who's spreading this information? I don't want this to get back my family. And Robert Pattinson's trying to stop her, and basically just goes up and says, well, you know, this happened with this girl at work, but it didn't mean anything. And she's like, what? that's not even what I was talking about. So basically they tell on themselves for this non-affair that they had, which was just this like 30-second brief encounter that nothing actually happened. And Zendaya is all pissed off now, and she's so emotional, and she's going to leave him and all this other stuff. And the girl's boyfriend is arguing with her because they did this very publicly at the wedding, and her boyfriend are also at the wedding, and he starts freaking out. And Robert Pattinson turns around and goes, "Would you just shut the fuck up?" And the guy comes over and beats the shit out of him. So while he's getting his ass kicked, Zendaya leaves the wedding, and they show her just like walking down in the rain in her white dress, and it's getting muddy, and she just leaves, and everybody's looking for her and they can't find her. Well, there was one scene in the movie where they were talking about like how they didn't get, the other couple, their best friend couple, didn't get to enjoy their food at their wedding because it was just so chaotic and so busy, which is, it really is a common thing for the bride and groom not to really get to enjoy the wedding reception, because you're thanking 50 people and, you know, or 100 people or 200 people, whatever it may be. So it gets chaotic, but, they're like, yeah, we just ordered pizza or something like that when we got back to the house. And Zendaya is like, we should go to this diner that we like and get a hamburger afterwards. And she was like, wouldn't it be cute? You know, we show up and we're in our wedding stuff, you know, and just being overdressed to go to a hamburger joint. Robert Pattinson's like, I guess it's, you know, whatever. So when he gets back to the apartment, she's not there. It dawns on him, of course. And he goes to the diner, which is just the trope, just like the lighthouse from the other movie we saw. They know where they're going to meet at the end of the movie because of foreshadowing. So he goes to the diner, and he's got a broken nose, and there's blood all over his white shirt from his tux and stuff like that. And he sits down and orders a hamburger. And of course, Zendaya walks in. She walks past him like she doesn't know him, goes up and orders food. And then she sits down, and he starts to apologize. And he's like, hey, I'm blah, blah, blah. And he's like looking at her stunned, and she was like, it's nice to meet you. And then he's like, yeah, he's like, I'm blah, blah, blah. And it's nice to meet you, whatever their characters' names are. He's like, and yeah, it's nice to meet you too. And then they sit there and have this like little conversation, like they don't know each other. And the movie ends.
Insert dementia joke.
So one of the other things about this movie, was that it's supposed to be a drama, obviously, because the movie is called Drama.
The drama.
It has the worst music that I think I've heard in a movie in a very, very long time. So like they just do like whole notes played by a horn in the background, like to make it like super dramatic, but it's just like super off-putting, just it's like that's the super dramatic point of the movie or whatever that scene is or whatever. And they do it throughout the whole thing. And it's just like, God, the sound, whoever did the sound in this movie needs fucking shot. Like, it's just so bad. Like, I want you to watch it just so you can see that. Like the rest of the movie, I just told you, it's fucking terrible. This movie is bad. And it's so stupid. Like, why would you, I don't understand. You would blow up your entire life because somebody told you that that's the worst thing they ever did. Like, do you really think they're a psycho because they didn't actually do it? You know, like no matter what the circumstances are that drove them not to do the point, obviously they weren't serious about doing it if they didn't go through with it.
All right.
You know what I mean? And all the circumstances that led up to that were stupid anyway. Like the way they did it in the video. Like she's filming her video. Like, if you're seeing this video, then I'm already gone. And you're probably wondering why I did this. And then her computer just says, update webcam to be able to continue. And she stops and she's like updating the webcam. And then she goes back and she starts recording the message again. And then she gets another error on her computer. So her manifesto is never actually recorded. And stuff. Like there's like this cheesy little humor to, it was never going to happen anyway.
Right.
But it was just like, God damn, these people are all like losing their minds, blowing up friendships, blowing up relationships and everything like that because of that. And I'm just like, I don't get it. Like, am I just desensitized to it, or is it like,
sounds like it's not your thing?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, to ruin, like, if you told me that, if you said that, that's how you felt as a 15-year-old, I would actually have like empathy for you. Like, what would drive you to feel like you needed to do that? Because you didn't do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what would make you feel that bad where you felt like you needed to do that or something like that? You know, yeah, you had enough sense to not do it. And then you actually became like anti-gun because, you know, that's, you know, you realized it was a bad thing and you threw your gun away and got rid of it. So nobody could ever have that gun again and stuff like that, you know, and you grew from it. Like that doesn't make you a fucking psycho.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's not worth, you know, like when they showed this movie, because like in the trailer of this movie, they that's the premise that they show you, is it that all of them go around the table and are telling the worst thing they've ever done, and then she says what they do, and in the trailer they don't tell you what she says she did, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And it's like, that's it. That's what we're basing this whole movie off of. I was like, man, I was really hoping for some kind, you know, real drama. Yeah, I was like, you know, what'd she do? You know, like, pedophile, you know, like, you know, and they actually joke about that in the thing. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, just not that.
Sounds like this movie is not the drama.
No, it's Robert Pattinson though. Holy shit, dude. He crashes out in this movie so bad. And he plays a whiny little bitch in this movie. Like, I don't know. Like he, everything that I've seen him in, like going from the Odyssey, like the character he played in the Odyssey, and then seeing him in this and seeing him in that Lighthouse movie that he was in with Willem Dafoe and stuff, like the stuff he's done recently. Like, oh God, I can't even see him as Batman anymore. I can't. Cause I mean, like I will never be able to buy Robert Pattinson as a tough guy. I just won't. Like you can hide him in the bat suit all you want, but he is the weakest Batman we've ever had too. Like, here, since I'm doing it, like the weakest Batman we've ever had. Like, I don't even know how to compare him. Like, yeah. I don't know. So I'm not a fan. The movie was not for me. This one was, I would rather watch the one I can never remember the freaking name of, something One Night Only or whatever it was. I would rather watch that than watch this again. I would watch Train Dreams before I would watch this movie. This is such a millennial movie. It's not even funny. Like just being that irate and that built up over feelings or the concept of something, you know, instead of something that actually happens,
is
some kind of physical thing.
Or Gen Z?
Is it Gen Z?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
I guess it's.
I'm a millennial.
I guess it's Gen Z. And millennials started this shit, but you know,
maybe
I'm not a boomer,
but
let's not go there either. I'm Gen X. But
some drama.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, it's the Gen Z thing, the super sensitive feeling bullshit thing that you know we're supposed to have. So, but yeah, I don't get it. It just, this movie was not made for anybody in my generation for sure. I don't think it was made for anybody in your generation either. Like these
probably
people,
not.
This is the softest fucking feeling movie I've ever felt like just, I cannot believe we had a whole movie based off of somebody felt some way when they were 15 and that's like going to destruct, like the picture in the thing up there, scroll up a little bit right there. The poster for the movie where he's beat up there. That's what they look like when they go to the diner. She's wearing that coat and the dress and he's all beat up there. That's the end of the movie.
Sounds like they got to the end of the movie and they're like, oh wait, we need a poster.
Yeah.
Hold on guys, pose.
But yeah, what does the audience say? What did people say about this movie?
76, 78.
I still think that's high.
Depends on who's rating it. So what do the reviews say? The single biggest issue with the drama is that despite it being a mildly interesting scenario, it's one that simply doesn't have anywhere particularly compelling to go.
What's the top one? Much of the controversy surrounding the movie. I mean, it is uncomfortable. Like Robert Pattinson makes everything about the movie like super uncomfortable. And then like I said, I get some of the artistic view. The movie might have even been remotely watchable if it wasn't for the sound. It definitely sounds like it was filmed in somebody's garage and they did all the sounds and stuff like that in somebody's garage, all the recording and stuff like that. It's all hollow. Nothing's well put together. Nothing meshes. So, I mean, for me, that takes me out of the movie a lot. You know, when they don't do a good job with that kind of stuff, like even like background noise and stuff in the movie is not well put in with when people are talking and such. And like the dead quiet that there is right here with us recording, like there's nothing behind us and stuff. That's how they did this movie.
Right.
Like when people are talking and then they'll just go, ding. it's that
drama.
bad. It's just, I don't know. I can't make a good horn noise for it to simulate it. Okay. But yeah, no, it's, I don't know. Watch it.
So 3 out of 10? 2 out of 10?
Yeah. And like I said, it may have been a 5 or a 6 if it wasn't so poorly scored and recorded. But it's just, they made what probably was an A-list movie intent. Whoever edited it turned it into a B or a C movie. And like I said, it's so choppy. The way it's like put together, the way that things are meant, like you can't tell who's visualizing themselves in certain scenes. Like you can't tell if it's her visualizing herself as this 15-year-old girl or if it's him. And a lot of it's left to assumption and things like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just not done well. It's just not done well at all. Cut 20 minutes into the movie or 30 minutes into the movie and then just wait for that horrible sound. And you're going to know, like I told you, like, and if you've heard me review movies before, I'm accurate. So you're going to watch this movie and that's what you're going to see. This is what you're going to get out of that movie. Like you don't need to watch it.
Okay.
But I would like you to just see how horrendous it's edited.
Okay.
You might appreciate it. You do editing. So, and nobody else watched it with me. So there's no puppetry to go along with this. Yeah, it just, I turned it on so I could review it. I was like, okay, well, it's another A24 movie. So let's throw it in there with the theme this week and knock it out. And oh God, I hope Spider-Man's better next week because the movies have just not been hitting it. Not been hitting lately. So.
Well,
ooh, shit.
And in the 8th inning, the Guardians blew it. Updates from the past.
Oh, wow. They gave up 4 runs.
Well, there's that. Hopefully Messick's better tomorrow.
Are we exactly 500 though? No, 1 game over 500.
Yeah.
Because I play for the Guardians.
You know, I'm with you.
It's our team.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys still enjoy the podcast without our comic relief.
Yeah, and we're going to obviously skip over trivia because otherwise it would be Matt and I just trying to outsmart each other with random multiple choice questions. He would just throw, Marvel movies over the last 5 years that I have no idea. I would, if I didn't bring it up earlier, I would have threw in the Maya Hawke was in that movie and you wouldn't have known it.
No, I would not. Damn, I would not have got that, man. Seriously, I want to, real quick, one night only, right? Is there a scene or something of what she looks like in this movie? I guess. Man. I mean, I can see it there now that I know, but it's still, if you would have put that up, I don't know that I would have picked it out. Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't see it. Like I said, she's wearing like a white top there. She looks super pale and her hair is different from what I've seen her.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's part of it, I guess. But no, I did not catch that was her. I feel bad. I usually am better than that.
Well, that should be all. If you like the show, let us know. And let us know if you noticed my Hawk was in one night only whenever it comes out, August 7th. Share, comment, subscribe. Find us everywhere: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, TikTok, and all the audio platforms for podcasts. Anywhere you find podcasts, check out our website, mamalukes.net, and you can check out our store and get one of these banging t-shirts.
Or these king koozies.
Yeah. That should be all. Feedback. Anything, please.
Yeah.
You can tell us we suck. It'd be better than nothing because we're dealing with a lot of nothing.
I get feedback from my sister who does listen religiously, which we appreciate you. She said she was happy that we were all back.
Yeah. Well,
And
we're
then
about to disappoint her.
she also told somebody at her work that they had the chin poo poo.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So hopefully we can make that a thing.
The chin poo-poo.
The chin poo poo.
Don't let us know about that. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. Ta-ta. Virginia.
Alysha.
Yeah. That's funny, guys.